What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. What's Up Talks, an American talking about Manchester United. And we've got an update on Garnacho. I didn't drop a video yesterday as I wanted to wait until we got more reliable sources talking about the situation. We've got information on an update for Rashford, and is he Barcelona's now #1 target? We'll be talking about those things and more. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. As of the recording of this video, we're at 99 subscribers. So one away from 100, and that would be amazing. A great milestone for us as a community to hit on the road. Now we're still on the road to 100. We won't do anything further until we hit that mark. But this is actually a great little question here based on everything currently that we know right now and everything that is going on right now. Man United will finish blank in the Premier League next season. That is a question I posed to you all in the comments. Where will they finish in the Premier League given the current team right now? Let's say the Mbeumo deal doesn't get done. Where do they finish? If they don't get Mbeumo, honestly, I'm thinking like 9th or 10th. If they do get Mbeumo, maybe that 6, 7, 8 range. But we'll have to wait and see. Quite interesting stuff. But I do want to talk about Marcus Rashford to start things off and then get into a little bit of a rant here in a little bit. But following Liverpool rejecting approaches for Luis Diaz, Barcelona are preparing to go all in for Marcus Rashford. He is now the #1 target. That is as of Petty and I don't know how reliable that is. But Matti Moretto is also reporting here new contacts regarding the Marcus Rashford and Barcelona situation are expected in the coming days, with Flick giving his approval to a possible arrival. So that is really good news. I didn't know that the Luis Diaz talks fell through, but apparently they have with Barcelona, which means that they are not getting Nico Williams. He re-signed. They are not getting Luis Diaz. He was rejected. So now they're left with Marcus Rashford. So that is a good thing, even though it's still not a done deal until we get a Fabrizio, if we get a David Ornstein, if we get a Ben Jacobs, actually talking about Rashford, concrete talks with Barcelona, then anything and everything is off. Anything and everything is then off the table until those guys are talking about it. But this is a positive spin on things. I know he came back to Carrington. They allowed him back to train and be around the first team. That is not something that I would recommend doing, but it is on the up and up that Rashford is potentially going to be in talks with Barcelona. Whether that's going to be a permanent deal or a loan, I think as of right now, United really need to push somehow, some way to make that a permanent move and get funds in so that we can start buying and finishing deals, aka Mbeumo. I'm not even going to really talk about Mbeumo today because we already know that saga is going on. United have made a complete mess of that saga of a transfer for Mbeumo. It's absolutely crazy. Well, Kundus is getting done. We now have Morgan Gibbs White getting done, going to Tottenham for about roughly 60 million. Just get the deal done. And Mbeumo's worth 60. Pay the 60 plus, I would say 5. Just get it over the line. Get him into the club so that we can get him in before pre-season tournament in America. So that's my little spiel on Mbeumo today. Nothing furthermore on that. A quite interesting little update here in regards to Jadon Sancho. This is as of La Stampa. I'm not too sure how reliable that is. And Sport Witness, who is followed by a few people, but United Stand are retweeting this. So they are, I would say, a reliable source. If they are retweeting things, they definitely want people to know. Jadon Sancho has agreed on personal terms with Juventus, and Manchester United have also reached a basic agreement over the transfer fee. However, there's a tug of war with Sancho and United, with him wanting a 4.3 million severance package. I shake my head at this because this guy has milked United for as long as I can remember. I know we haven't fully paid his wages over the past couple seasons with him being on loan, but holy hell, man. Just leave. Just go. I'd be fine giving him 2 million. Get the hell out. Goodbye. We've seen enough of you. You were supposed to be the second coming. coming to United, you were absolutely nothing, and that could have been our fault, realistically speaking, with some of the managers and how they played him and how he was treated. Fair play for that, but, I mean, dude, I want you gone. United obviously wants you gone. Ruben Amorim, I suppose, doesn't even want you back, so just go. Go to Juventus, have a good time in Italy, maybe you absolutely kill it, and you get into the England squad for the World Cup, but that is enough. Goodbye. Go. Will United pay the 4.3? Probably not. Who knows? Sancho, he needs to go. Absolutely needs to go. Now, oh, that literally just came in. Interesting. We'll talk about that here in a second for Alenga. I didn't want to post a video. I didn't want to make a video last night overreacting. There was an ESPN report stating that Garnacho has been allowed to come back and train with the first team at Carrington for preseason as the deal gets worked out. And at first, I was absolutely livid, and I was shocked. I'll put it at that. I watched Mark Goldbridge. I mean, we're on the United Stand Twitter page. We follow them. They do a really good job covering the team, hence why I wanted to talk about United as well. But despite previous reports, Manchester United have not permitted Garnacho to rejoin his Manchester United teammates for preseason training, with the player still expected to leave this summer. That is as of Rich Fay, who is a Manchester United reporter. At this point, I don't know what's true, but if we don't see pictures of him actually showing up to Carrington, I will believe and want to believe that this updated report is the more true of the two. I have now lost faith in ESPN FC with their reporting in terms of soccer. I know it's ESPN. They're usually in it for the clicks and so forth. But, I mean, if United let this guy back in, this snake, the man who's wearing a Villa Rashford shirt while on holiday, we're not fining him or anything for that. All the public comments, all the public press conferences, or at least the one after the final, basically stating that I'm done, I'm leaving, I'm out, peace. That would have been absolutely bonkers if they let him back into the club to train this preseason, to just bring that cancer into the room, bring that to the training pitch. It would have been an awful scene. It would have been a media fiasco, circus, whatever you want to call it. But I'm glad so far that this report has come out that no, they have not said he's allowed back. So we'll have to wait and see. If he does show up, then maybe the ESPN report was true. If he doesn't show up, we'll have to believe that this one is true for the time being. And then this one coming in, as we do still have a few minutes left before ending this, about the Anthony Alenga deal. In total, Man United stand to make around $13.6 million in sell-on fees from the profits generated by recent sales of Anthony Alenga, Nottingham Forest to Newcastle. $6 million, 20% profit. They're adding up the total deals. Okay. The Carras Benfica to Real Madrid, 7.6, 15 total profits. So total for those two sell-on clauses, $13.6 million. I suppose that's kind of nice. That's coming from Telegraph Ducker, James Ducker. A lot of people follow him that we follow. So I feel pretty solid about that. 13.6 is nice, but that's not that. I mean, that's not going to get you a big chunk of change. And who knows if that is like the total amount from the sales. I'm sure some of these deals are going to be built out for the next couple of years in installments, so they're not going to get that 13.6 most likely up front. There's no way. Absolutely no way. But it is nice that over however many years, whether it's 2 or 3, that will be coming in. Let's check out United Truthful to see if they've got anything. And they also went ahead and retweeted the information as well, 13.6. So that is very nice. United are among clubs pursuing 16-year-old midfielder Seth Rejon, who hasn't decided on his future. Fulham remains hopeful to keeping him. Okay, cool. And then the Garnacho information. So a little bit of a juicy morning in terms of news. Garnacho apparently not allowed to come back. Thank God for that, because it'd be an absolute fiasco. I would have absolutely lost it. But then again, the Glazers, Sir Jim, Ineos, they don't know what they're doing. They said, all these reports and all the new and information coming about it. Like, we've been planning this transfer window for a long time, and we're going to make some big moves, and they haven't done anything. It is, I'm looking at the date, July 11th. It is the new financial calendar year. We have no money. Simple as that. We have no money. We are relying on players to leave the club before we can even purchase players to come into the club. Cunha was already, I guess, a wrapped up deal, plus that's in installments. They don't have to pay that 63 whatever million up front. It's in 3-year installments, so they can spread that out. And Mbumo, obviously that deal hasn't gotten done. It has been a month and a half of talks, probably even more with Mbumo and Brentford in trying to bring him on. We now have the news about Wissa potentially leaving and how Brentford don't want to lose both their top players in the same window. So United are on a time crunch to sell players. And at this point, they haven't done so. We see it here. We see it here. They can't even get the deal for Sancho done because he wants a severance package of 4.3 million. Where's the money? We don't have the money to be able to do these things right now because we have to sell players. But when players are demanding more money to even leave the club, how the hell do you expect them to bring anybody in a timely manner? At the end of the day, this is really killing Amarim's team and his vision of a true preseason. He doesn't have his full team. So we'll have to wait and see. That's a little bit of a rant to end this episode. But if you guys did enjoy, be sure to drop a comment, drop a like on this video as well. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. But that's going to be it for this one. And we will catch up with you guys in the next video.